Hi, I'm Alexa, and these are my audience members. Have you ever felt like you didn't belong? Like you're to this or to that, and you just can't seem to please anybody? For many Mexican Americans, this statement can be true, either feeling too Mexican or not Mexican enough. And Selena Quintanilla was able to embrace both of these identities and rise to the top of the charts and hearts of music. In today's speech, I'll be informing you on the impact Selena Quintanilla has had on Mexican American communities and even to this day after she has passed many decades later. Even though Selena's career was cut short, she was still able to become a Latina icon, making her name a staple in many Mexican American households. In the short time she was in the industry, she was able to redefine genres, ignite pride within people's hearts, and inspire many future generations. Growing up, Selena's music was prominent in my life. I heard a lot of her music, same with family and friends. We all loved listening to her. And even within the industry, I saw a lot of documentaries or movies made about her life. So, today I'll be talking about how exactly Selena Quintanilla has impacted the Mexican American community by changing the music industry, by creating a new sense of cultural pride, and how generations after her death she still inspires many. First, I'll explain how she was able to break through barriers in music. Selena changed the music industry and created paths for many future Latino music artists. The genre she was primarily involved in was Tejano music, and that was a male-dominated space. But despite that, she was still able to find success and shine. So throughout her success, she quickly became one of the best-selling Tejano music artists, and in the textual poster by Natalia Garcia, she was able to win one of the highest accomplishments in the music industry, which was winning a Grammy in 1997 with her album, and she was actually the first Tejano music artist to accomplish this. She also was able to create a space for women in the music industry to share their love and art within the Tejano music genre. And this is especially a huge triumph for Latinas because, as stated in Selenidad by Deborah Paredes, the industry heavily ignored Latina artists and they just watered them down to this exotic idea. But despite that, Selena was able to break down barriers and challenge stereotypes, and she showed the industry that she was more than just an idea, but that she was a brilliant music artist. And she didn't just change the music industry, she also lit a cultural flame within Mexican Americans. She was heavily encouraging people to embrace their Mexican American identity. She wasn't ashamed of being Mexican American. She was actually born in Texas, born and raised, and despite all of her greatest hits being in Spanish, she actually primarily spoke English. She learned Spanish through her music, so as she wrote and collaborated, she expanded more in her Spanish, and this was seen in interviews and movies, and it's widely documented that she did make mistakes performing live in interviews, but that didn't back her down from trying her best. Fatima Hernandez Varejas explains in her paper that these imperfections were what made her relatable for many Mexican Americans, especially Mexican Americans who learned Spanish later on in their life. They found her as someone they could connect to, and throughout her music, she was able to unite cultures. Throughout her life, even as a young girl, she performed in front of large crowds of people. So she wasn't new to the performing aspect, but she largely grew crowds quickly as she entered her teen years. And in the book, The Selena Reader by Larissa Mercado Lopez, she quickly became a part of the Latin music scene, touring from Mexico to America. So as she became widely accepted, This created a huge sense of pride as she was a huge artist. And during these times, there wasn't that much Latino representation. So this was especially important to see someone like you being able to succeed. It shows you that you can do it. Even though she soon passed after her success, her impact is still widely felt. Her She is an inspiration to many to this day, and even her music is still huge. In Hannah Lastro's paper, Still Dreaming of You, she states that her legacy continues and is carried on through social medias online, and this is where the fandom really carries her heart, her music, her personality. And not just in online spaces, also in public spaces, I see that she's still widely loved. I hear her music from stores to quinceañeras, just to random events. But not just with her music, she's also I also see a lot of like her pop culture impact. I see a lot of her outfits. There people are inspired by them, or even on Halloween, her hair and her makeup looks. She's more than just her music. She's also a cultural impact. Her impact far exceeds just music. It has clearly been shown in today's speech that Selena is able to encourage Mexican Americans to be proud of their culture. They can be proud of their upbringing, and I feel like because of that, those beliefs are still held today. People are able to be proud of themselves. A popular quote that Selena is known for is, always believe that the impossible is possible. And I think it's a message like this that is why she's so loved to this day.